Have you ever taken a look at your student loan balance and just felt completely trapped? Like no matter what you do, that number won't stop haunting you. Well, you're not alone. This story right here is from my buddy Mark, but it could be yours too. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how he went from drowning in six-figure debt to financial freedom. Picture this. You do everything right. You work hard, you get into college, you graduate with a degree, and you think life is about to start. But instead of opportunity, reality hits you like a brick wall. That's exactly where Mark was. Late at night, sitting at his desk, laptop open, eyes locked on the number that wouldn't go away. $100,000, give or take, in student loans. His phone buzzed. It's the group chat. Vegas next weekend, gonna be insane. Another message. Emily, his girl. Hey babe, you okay? You've been quiet all day. But Mark wasn't. Rent was due, his bank account was empty, and his future hijacked by debt. He kept thinking to himself, for the next 25 years, he'd be paying for a decision that he made at 18, locked into minimum monthly payments, watching interest stack up like chains around his future. No trust fund, no bailout, just a crazy idea. How can I get out of debt in 3 years? Now that much debt in that little time frame, right out of college, is damn near impossible. Everyone around him said that it's impossible, but Mark didn't care. He was about to prove them wrong. Mark set up a call with his loan company because he wanted to see if there was anything that he could do with no sugarcoating, no false hope, just cold, hard numbers. If you pay just the minimum, they said, you're going to be paying this off until your 40s, assuming that nothing goes wrong in the meantime. My 40s, he thought? This isn't just a number. That was a lifetime of paycheck to paycheck living. Mark swallowed hard and ran the numbers in his head. No house, no freedom, no future that wasn't controlled by a bank. He sat looking at his computer screen, the dashboard. He thought to himself that maybe this is how life works. Maybe debt was normal. He could accept it, make the minimum payments, spend the next 2 decades playing defense. Or he could do something insane, attack it. He thought about it. Maybe he could just make the payments, live small, accept this as his reality. Maybe he could be okay with that. But something inside of him refused. There's no way that he wanted to wait 25 years to get this done. He was gonna go to war. Now that very night, he sat at his kitchen table, a cheap pen, an old notebook in hand. Debt snowball, he thought, or debt avalanche, consolidation. He read for hours, devouring every strategy that he could find. One method did stand out though, the snowball method. Not because it made the most sense, but because it built momentum. The first target, a $2,500 private loan. If he could knock that out fast, it would feel real. So he picked up his phone late night to call his dad and asked, "Hey dad, can I come move back home for a while?" A week later, 3 boxes and a duffel bag sat in his trunk. His apartment lease not renewed. Emily, his girlfriend, helped him pack. Her face said everything though. "I don't want to lose us over this," he said, loading the last box. She didn't get the answer that she wanted right away, just taped up another box labeled kitchen stuff. Moving back home at 24 felt like absolute rock bottom. Same childhood bedroom, same posters on the wall, but failure, not an option. Uber Eats, deleted. Gym membership, gone. Netflix, Spotify, and budgeting apps, all canceled. Friends texted, "You good, bro?" He left them on red. This wasn't about fun. This was about survival. But cutting back just wasn't good enough. He needed to make more money. So he hustled. Weekends, package deliveries, an extra $200 a week. Nights, freelancing, logo designs, video edits, $1,500 extra a month. At first, he had no idea where to start, but after some late night research, he found Fiverr and Upwork, platforms where businesses paid for graphic design and video editing. His first gig, a $50 logo for a startup. It wasn't much, but it was proof. He could make money outside of his 9-to-5, and once he got that first payment, he was hooked. The grind was brutal. Late nights, working under the glow of his laptop screen. Emily, his girlfriend, called one night. "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while." Mark glanced at his unfinished projects, unpaid invoices, his schedule for the next day, deliveries in the morning, freelance gigs at night. "I know," he said. "I just need more time." She exhaled, and a long silence to follow. "Just don't forget what we're fighting for, okay?" she said. Mark opened up his dashboard and looked at the numbers again. $95,000 left. Still a mountain, but now it was getting smaller. So the grind continued. Late one night, Mark sat at his desk, exhaustion setting in, but the numbers on his screen didn't lie. He was making progress, but now $90,000 were left, and it still felt impossible. Scrolling through forums, he stumbled onto a school community called the MT Army, a group of people just like him hungry to improve in life. No fluff, no fake motivation, just real wins, real strategies, and real accountability. People just like him, sharing their stories, posting screenshots of paid off loans, celebrating every $1,000 like it was a championship win, holding each other accountable. After joining, he hesitated at first, but eventually he typed out a post. The title read $10,000 down, still got a long way to go. A few minutes passed, then the comments began to pour in. "Keep going, you're killing it. I started at $120,000 in debt and now I'm debt free. You got this." Mark didn't realize how badly he needed to hear that. And the next morning, he made the biggest payment yet. 60-hour work weeks, no vacations, no weekends. Emily stopped asking about date nights. His friends stopped inviting him out. One night, he pulled into a parking lot, watching them laugh as they walked into a bar. Now he could walk in right now, forget the stress, buy a round, feel normal again. Instead, he opened up his banking app. This time it read $78,000 left. Still a mountain, but now he wasn't climbing alone. Then it happened. The first zero balance. The snowball method was working. Mark stared at the screen, almost afraid to believe it. No way, he thought. He clicked refresh, still at zero. Hands gripping the edge of his desk, heart pounding. This was real. I can win this war. Every skipped coffee, every sleepless night, every sorry I can't to his friends, every night he worked instead of slept, every extra shift that he picked up, every dollar he squeezed out of his budget, it all led to this. Not a vacation, not a splurge, a zero on one of his balances. And that zero, better than any party, any weekend trip, and any night out. Debt was not impossible. It wasn't some immovable mountain. It was just a series of zeros waiting to be conquered. Something at this moment shifted. Mark got smarter. Loan consolidations, well, that equals lower interest rates. Negotiating payments, well, then you get more money towards the principal. Side hustle income, not a single cent spent on anything else. He wasn't just working harder anymore, but he was working smarter. He was playing the game to win, and Emily noticed. One night, she curled up next to him, watching as he updated his budget. The glow from his laptop screen cast shadows across his face, but his eyes weren't tired anymore. They were locked in. She was on board. "You're actually doing it," she whispered. For the first time in a long time, he believed it too. Fast forward 3 years. That's how long that it took to crush $100,000 of debt. Not 25 years, not a lifetime. 3 years of grit, sacrifice, and relentless strategy. And it led up to this moment. Mark opened up his laptop one last time, a final payment of $3,000 before him. His fingers hovered over the trackpad. 3 years, thousands amongst thousands of hours, every sacrifice, every sleepless night. He wasn't just submitting a payment, he was closing a chapter of his life. Click, balance, $0. His girl burst through the door, bottle of champagne in hand. His parents clapped. His phone buzzed, texts from old friends, old co-workers, and old versions of himself. "Congrats, man. Holy you really did it. Bro, how did you do it?" Mark leaned back into his chair, staring at the screen. Emily sat beside him watching. And for a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she smiled and said, "I knew you'd do it." Mark exhaled, finally realizing that he hadn't just won his future back, he hadn't lost her either. But alas, being debt-free didn't mean that his purpose or his life stopped. It meant that now it could finally start. The discipline turned into savings for a house, investing, being generous, and helping others. Mark joined a mentorship program teaching fresh grads how to escape the same debt cycle that he was going to be in. Because if he can do it on an entry-level salary, then why couldn't someone else? But for Mark, it was never just about money. It was all about freedom. So what's stopping you? Whether it's $10,000 or $100,000, the journey starts with one step. And that step was a decision. The decision to prioritize his flexibility. Drop a comment down below and tell me what's your biggest financial goal. And don't forget to join my men's self-development community where we have a brotherhood of men with similar goals as to Mark. Link to it down in the description box down below. Let's crush these goals together. And if this story hit home for you, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share the content. Mark did it. Now it's your turn. I'm out.